this experience when I was 5 put this messed up software in my mind. That software continued to run from the age of 5 to 38 years old. So the thought was, okay, well, if I conquer, it was gross because I was objectifying women, and it was almost like they had a target on their back that I had to sleep with them,
Right.
and that would satiate me. That would make me feel whole or complete or accomplished. When I would go on these operations and see the absolute horror of these kids being trafficked, it would make me angry at God. These are your most precious humans. Why would you let this happen to them? And so every mission I would go on, I would come back more angry and angry and angry. I have that belief that there can't be a God, because why would a God let this happen?
Super excited to introduce Andrew McCubbin, the man, the myth, the legend. So excited to be on the show. Thank you for coming on the Jerry Glazier Show, and it means a lot to me.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Holy cow, we're here.
We are.
We're here.
Yeah.
Andy has been I would say a mentor, a friend through a distance. Your life is nothing short of impressive. From starting out, young man wanting to be an entrepreneur to, let me do this differently. Why don't you tell me about you? Tell me about you.
Wow. I am a husband.
Yeah.
I'm a father.
Yeah.
I'm a grandfather.
Yeah.
I am man, that's a difficult question. Ironically, it's a difficult question.
Yeah.
Where do I start? Where do I begin?
Yeah.
I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Born again Christian.
Okay.
I'm an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
investor, humanitarian.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, and I'm in love with life.
Yeah. I love when you say curious.
Yeah.
Don't to be delusional.
I have had some extreme struggles.
Yeah.
I've made extreme mistakes.
Mhm.
But I've overcome those.
Right.
And by the grace of God, I am proud of the man I am today, and I'm grateful for the man I am today.
So what about the early life of you? Where do you feel like it started? Grade school, the time you remember going to the dance with your dad, coming home with your mom, like where,
Yeah. So I was born in Kenai, Alaska.
Okay. All right.
I was the 13th of 14 children.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Big Mormon family.
Okay.
And we grew up less fortunate, I would say.
Okay.
And
In what regards?
we that's interesting you asked that. In what regards? So we were fortunate. We were the most fortunate with regard to, we knew our parents loved us,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just the perfect examples of love and a marriage.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And we had just the most amazing childhood experience. Being the 13th of 14, I had several siblings that were older and had moved on out of the house
Mhm.
by the time I was born. So when I was a teenager, my dad was in his mid 80s. And so, to stay out of trouble, we were very active in sports.
Okay.
But what I would say, was a pivotal moment in my life was I was molested at the age of 5, starting at the age of 5 by an older extended family member. So I'll back up and say we were fortunate enough that we knew our parents loved us, but we didn't have money. And so we grew up where it would be basketball season, for an example, and I'd ask my parents for a new pair of shoes. And the answer was, sorry, your older brother, it's his year for new shoes.
Oh yeah.
And so I had to learn to work from a very young age, and if I wanted things, I had to work for them, and so that was when I mean less fortunate. I mean we were pretty poor.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the most pivotal moments of my childhood was that molestation, and what that did as far as programming my my childhood and even into my adulthood. When you have trauma at such a young age, um, parts of you remain at that age, and there's a doubt of y- you. For me, anyways, it was I didn't love myself. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel uh, enough,
Yeah.
and that carried on in my life until it was a cause for a massive explosion in my life, where I essentially blew up my life and blew up my marriage. Um, so I say it was transformational because it was a very, very important part of my life, because it got me ultimately to where I am today, and I wouldn't have gotten into the child rescue stuff if it wasn't for that moment. And so, in a way, in an odd way, it shaped me to be the man I am today.
Right.
And
Which is what I love about you.
thank
You know that I think the world of you. I also spent 4.5 years working with the same guys you worked with. I wasn't fortunate enough, or I was blessed that I didn't have to go. Most of our audience doesn't even know who you are. You're a hidden hero. And you the man. Thank you. Andy wanted to go on the rescues. The team had said you need to be trained, and so you did. You were trained by one of the, I believe this to be correct when I say this, one of the top 10 people in the United States are able to teach Krav Maga. You did so well with it because you were dedicated to it, that you trained, that you were able to very, very quickly study because that's what you wanted to do. Is that correct to say?
Right. Yeah. So when I heard about this organization that was going out and doing these anti-child trafficking rescues, I thought, man, if there's anything that I could put my full weight and resources and myself, my heart, my soul behind, as far as a cause, this would be that cause. And so I emailed in with to the organization. I emailed in and said, hey, I would like to donate to this cause, but I'd also like to participate in it.
Yeah.
And fortunately, over the years, prior years, I had just had this weird fascination with doing these trainings put on by other special forces,
right.
retired special forces guys. So it was anything from tactical car driving to escape and evasion to room building clearing, hostage rescue, hostage rescue,
Yeah.
escape and evasion,
Right.
surveillance detection. And I would just do these classes just for fun, not knowing why I was doing it. I was just an adrenaline junkie. So when I emailed in, they asked for a meeting, and I sat down and they said, well, we don't really let people go on these operations.
Right.
And I told them some of the people who'd trained me, and they knew those people, like, Jeff Kirkham, Evan Hafer, these
Jeff
guys.
Kirkham is Special Forces, right?
Is 28 years Special
28
Forces.
years. Yeah, I've talked to him on the phone.
Yeah, he worked for the agency for 13 of those years. His wife worked for the agency. One of the founders of Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Evan Hafer as well. He's the other founder of Black Rifle Coffee Company. But I want to, I take courses from guys like that, and with
Did
no
you work
real.
with Steve Trelawney? Did you?
I did. Yeah. Steve's amazing. So I did the what is it? It was I think a 4 or 5 day course with him.
Yeah.
Knives and.
Did you play with the knife? That's what I say. His old custom knives. I love that training was amazing.
Yeah, learning how to use a crambit and.
So he's the elite. Yeah. Steve Trelawney doesn't train very much outside of Quantico.
Yeah.
He trained our teams, right?
Yeah. Yep. He is phenomenal.
Head of security, or one of the top head of security for President Trump in 2016.
Yeah.
Like super cool.
Yeah, he's great.
That.
Yeah, so I'd take these courses with no real intention or no real reason other than I just loved doing that type of training. And so when I told this organization, this anti-child trafficking organization, some of the training I had, they're like, well, okay, that's fine and dandy, but can you handle yourself in hand-to-hand combat? And I said, I believe so, but they said, okay, well, you need to go train with this guy. And it was Joseph.
Yeah, Glee, right?
Yeah, Glee.
Yeah, he's a badass.
He is.
I've had the opportunity to,
Yeah, so
he's, like I said, once again, he's one of the top in the country to actually can train Israel.
Over in Israel. So they don't allow, anybody really to go over there and train their IDF soldier, their, special forces over there. But he, I think, is one of 2 Americans that has ever been.
So it is one of 2, not one of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I heard it. It's pretty impressive. Yeah. I met him up to the Hidden Heroes.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Yeah. It's been 2 years ago.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was in July of 23. Yeah, it's been a few years, 3 years ago now.
Yeah. He's an amazing man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went in and I trained with Joseph for every day. I took private lessons with him and usually 1 or 2 other instructors that were just working with me. And fortunately, I was able to get through to where Joseph said I was ready in approximately 6 to 7 months, something like that.
He was also an operator.
He was.
Yeah, he was one of our hidden heroes.
Yeah. He would provide security
for the for the other
operators. Yeah.
Well, I heard firsthand about you from the elite that you were very instrumental in saving children. How many missions did you go on?
22 operations.
22 operations.
Yeah.
In 11 countries?
No, let's see. It was Colombia, Mexico, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Iraq, Australia. That was, and that's through 3 different organizations. So not just one organization. It was with 3 different organizations all doing the same thing.
They made a movie about your life.
I don't know if it's about my life, but yeah, they made a movie about
the operation.
Yeah.
What's the movie called?
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to be one of the executive producers of that.
Yeah.
And when I did it, I was not expecting it to be so successful. I just wanted to, and I wasn't expecting a return on the money. It was just, this is a cause I believe in, and I want to get the word out as much as I possibly can. And so, a dear friend, Paul Hutchinson, gave me the opportunity to invest in that. So I did.
Right. Yeah, we love Paul.
Yeah.
So with that movie and that life and being a part of rescuing all the children, the women being a part of that, how did that affect your life? Like, we talk about, most people don't even want to see the movie.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to live the life. So I'm assuming they want to even be educated.
Yeah.
How did it affect you?
In a massive way.
Yeah. How so?
Yeah. So, before getting into this organization, I had left the religion of my upbringing.
Which was
Mormonism.
Mormon, LDS?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I became atheist.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
That's quite a,
it's quite a transition. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So it was you're kind of in this thought or this belief when you're in a religion that if you believe that religion isn't true, then there can't be a God because that's the only true religion. And if you don't believe in that religion, then there God must not be real. Jesus must not be real. At least that was my thinking.
Right.
And so when I would go on these operations and see the absolute horror of these kids being trafficked, it would make me angry at God. Like, these are your most precious humans. Why would you let this happen to them? And so every mission I would go on, I would come back more angry and angry and angry, and have that belief that there can't be a God, because why would a God let this happen?
Right.
And it affected me quite a bit. Yeah,
You related to that as a child.
I did.
So you had a really strong understanding of what they're going through.
Yeah.
And that was the fire to drive you?
Yeah, I didn't want that type of a situation to happen to any other child. It's disgusting. It's the most evil thing I can think of. And so yeah, it had an effect on me and my family.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't just me.
How so in your family?
Well, you're leaving for days at a time, and it's extremely dangerous work that we're doing. And
How so?
well, I mean, you're
Because
dealing
a
with
lot of people have never seen the movie. So give us some context of like, what would you guys do? Would you guys just show up and go to like McDonald's and
Yeah, so we would show up and we would work with host nations, federal police.
Okay.
So, let's say Mexico or Haiti.
Right.
We
Federal
would
always in Mexico.
Yeah. Yep. So we would build a relationship with them, and they would say, and there was some coordination with State Department as well.
Right.
And
The U.S. State Department.
right,
Yeah.
right. Homeland Security and so sometimes they give us intelligence and say, hey, there's child trafficking going on in Tijuana.
Okay.
So we would meet with the federal police, and we would get cover, top cover, so that we are not gonna get arrested. And well, if we did get arrested, that we have this agent that we can call, and he fixes everything for us.
Right.
So we'd go into places like Tijuana or Haiti, and we would go to this target location where the intelligence was saying that's where they're trafficking kids, and we'd pose as rich tourists looking for underage children. And so we would meet somebody that would introduce us to somebody that would introduce us to somebody else, and so we would try and get up the chain as quickly as possible, to get up the ladder of, just instead of a grunt, we'd try and get to the boss, and then the boss's boss. And it was dangerous because some of those bosses were cartel members that don't mess around.
What would happen to you if they caught you
We'd be killed immediately.
instantly?
Yeah.
Was there any instances that you thought you would die?
Yeah. Multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any situations?
Scariest was actually by dirty cops in Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
That was a situation that was pretty sketchy, because I was at one point isolated from my team, and they were shaking me down. Two police officers were, and yeah, I made it out, and I'm here, and ended up not being again, by the grace of God, we all made it back and never had an instance where we were hurt. At least not our team.
So do you think your atheist background started to convert you to that maybe there is such a God because of the things that you survived?
Yeah, so it wasn't until years later. It wasn't until years later that I realized, you know, while I believed God had abandoned them,
Right.
he 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 would send somebody like me or my team, and had been training me for years,
Right.
really, to
Yeah.
to go be there in his stead.
Do you think the bad shit of your childhood put a fire inside of you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So if you look back on it now, as you go back to little Andy and that happened, just say,
I'm
guess
grateful.
what? With
Everything
this,
everything's gonna be okay.
everything's gonna be okay.
This is what we're gonna be able to do with this.
Yeah.
This is the light that comes out of this darkness. Yeah, and it's
You had to experience to understand what they were experiencing.
right, and to have
because
that
of
passion and have that fire
Yeah.
to risk everything.
For your brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
Now, you at that time in your life you were very successful.
yes,
Is that fair to say?
yes,
You were living the life that most people couldn't even imagine. And you risk it. You got a beautiful wife. She is a sweetheart. Like
She
I
is.
met her at the Hidden Heroes with
she is.
the Larry H. Miller
Yeah,
gal let us put on that, and we got
Yeah.
to meet all you amazing men and women, that
Yeah.
walked away or risked everything
right,
so that the kids knew that you'd bring them home.
right, right. She the saying is true that behind every good man there's
Great woman.
an exceptional woman.
Exceptional. I
And
love
she's one of my guardian angels.
that. Yeah. She put up with some shit.
She put up with a lot of shit. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And she still puts up not the level of
Not
of
the
same
level
shit,
of the
but
stuff that
not even slightly, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, you could have just stayed home, kept with your Lamborghini in the garage and lived your life, but instead you stood a post. I think Jimmy Rex, we are the they, right?
Mm.
He's another one of our hidden heroes.
Yeah.
And I love this story. I don't know if it's totally true, but it's true to me, so I'm going to say it. My understanding was that Jimmy Rex was headed out on. You got the call, and usually it's very quickly because you got to move.
Right.
And Jimmy Rex's girlfriend at the time, I believe this to be true. Jimmy, set me straight, buddy. But I'm going to tell it this way. I love it. He's getting relieved, grabs his go bag, heading out the door, and she goes, "Why do you have to go? Why can't they go?"
Mhm.
And he turned to her and said, "We are the they."
Yeah, nobody else is going.
Nobody else is going.
I don't know why, but nobody else is going. We are the they.
We are the they.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's a beautiful
Like
story.
if there's a tattoo I put on my body, we are the they. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be an honorary member of that group.
It's a beautiful organization. Jimmy does a phenomenal job in helping men be better men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I've actually met some of the people that are in his organization or their organization, because he doesn't even say it's his, he says it's ours.
Right.
The brothers, we're brothers. They teach men how to be empowering. They hold each other accountable
Right.
to grow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they teach integrity.
Teach integrity.
Right.
And if you don't have
Accountability.
integrity, you get scolded, right?
Absolutely.
And then they
Yeah, they have accountability partners.
accountability and
Uh-huh.
super cool. I love that.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were in the jungle. You the story that I love is I hear multiple times on top of everything was our mutual friend,
Mm-hmm.
our brother Paul.
Yeah.
Right. You had special force guys with you, and you wanted to go down and look for in the movie it predicts a little girl or portrays a little girl, but it was actually a boy you guys were looking for,
Right,
correct?
right.
And special forces guy didn't want to go because you were going way off grid. True?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, we were going into the border of Haiti and the Dominican Republic,
Okay.
and we were going on mules. Um,
No boat. It was mules.
Horses couldn't even make it. They put us
Yes.
on, I think, mules. And so it was just us.
Meaning you and Paul.
Yeah, just the
Yeah.
two of us, posing as doctors from the UN, just doing healthcare checks
Right.
on these villages, these remote villages that would take hours to get to in the jungle, in the rough mountainous jungle of Haiti and the Dominican. But yeah, it was,
Did he talk you into that, or did you talk him into that?
there was no needing to talk. It was that's a horrible idea. When are we going?
Yeah, that's what I experienced with with Paul. He's
Yeah,
you know
yeah. This
we've
is
done some
this
pretty
this is batshit crazy, but
batshit crazy. Yeah.
nobody else is doing it.
Yeah.
We felt called to do it, and we knew that we were going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
At the time, it was arrogance and ego. Now I know it to be
Holy
God.
Spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We
Yeah.
share. That's the common thread with most people especially on this topic. You know, I'd spent a lot of time, working with Paul as director of operations for 4 years, and I got to know a lot of you heroes, and Paul would say the reason how we'd find those children, it wasn't here, it was here.
100%.
And he taught me how to tap into that,
Yeah,
to read people.
yeah,
And I really studied because you can feel energy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can feel them.
oh yeah.
And I love it. Were you able to tap into that and find that?
At the time, that's again, it's at the time. I called it luck.
Okay.
Because at the time I wasn't in tune to that.
Right.
Um,
Or you weren't aware of being in tune?
weren't aware of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
more
that's a
proper.
better. Yeah, that's a better way to
Right.
put it. But again, it was all. Looking back, after I had this born again experience, looking back, you're able to see in hindsight, it really is 2020. Like what you thought was you was never you.
Right.
It was 100% God and Jesus.
Right.
You're just, we had so many experiences where at the time I would call it chance or luck, but now it's duh.
Duh.
Yeah. I cannot believe I was that foolish and blind,
Right.
arrogant, egotistical, whatever, arrogance, to think that it was ever me or, Paul, and not realize, or any of the other team.
Divine intervention.
Yeah, 100%.
And how can you prove that? How could you prove that to people listening, because they're like, okay,
Can't prove it. I don't think so.
how about you guys would be the Mexican federales, right? They would have undercover people looking and looking and looking. You guys would show up, and how soon would you find the kids just being
Yeah, we went in multiple times and to different areas, different countries, and they would say, "Oh, we've already sent teams after team to try and find this
South.
this network here."
Yeah.
Yeah, and our team would go in and find them within a couple of days, and come in, make the contact, give all the intelligence to the federales so they could build the case, tap the phones, make sure we're not being surveilled or you just also they would monitor their phone conversations and texts just to make sure that they were who they said they were.
Right.
So they would run background checks on these guys in between us finding them and the kids, and when we would come back, usually a couple weeks later, to do the rescue operation.
Mm-hmm.
And just make sure we weren't being set up or anything like that. And there were many times where these teams had gone in before us, couldn't find the kids. We would go in and we'd have, the largest rescue in Haiti ever, or the largest rescue in Mexico ever,
Right.
from our team's work and what little intelligence we were going off of usually, and that's all by the hand of God.
What price did you pay for that and your family?
I almost lost my family.
How so?
I spent a few years there in a really dark place, and had multiple affairs on my wife, and was living a lie
Mm-hmm.
inside me. And what I believe it came from was this early childhood experience of the molestation, leaving you with a lack of self-love. And then fortunately, I think what held me together in my early years was a faith in God. And then when I lost that faith in God, it was a perfect storm of a lack of self-love,
Mm-hmm.
trying to feel whole and complete,
Right.
and I would try and find that through success, through, I thought if I made more money, then I would love myself, then I'd feel whole and accomplished. If I, had a nice car, if I had a beautiful family, if I had a bigger house, I thought all these things would satiate me and make me feel whole and complete inside. And of course, none of that is true. It'll
Right.
never be true. If you don't love yourself, you'll never be satiated. There's nothing that can satiate you, because you can't even satiate yourself. And then it was, well, if this experience when I was 5 put this messed up software in my mind that my mind was running, my subconscious was running, that
Mhm.
I need to I was molested by an older male, and I had this software running that says, well, you're not gay, even though I knew I wasn't gay.
Right.
And nothing against anyone that is gay, but for me, when you're molested, you have this experience, your body responds to physical stimulation a certain way, and that, unfortunately can blow out sideways if it's not dealt with, and it wasn't dealt with properly with me for many years. And so this software that I was running in my head was, well, I need to sleep with this woman or this woman or this woman to prove to the world and myself deep
Your
down that
masculinity.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that I'm not.
I'm a man. I'm a meat eater.
Yeah, Andrew
Yeah.
McCubbins isn't gay, even though I'd never been attracted to a male in my life.
Right.
It's just that software continued to run from the age of 5 to 38 years old, and I'm 45 now, and so the thought was, okay, well, if I conquer, and it was gross, because I was objectifying women, and it was almost like they had a target on their back that I had to sleep with them.
Right.
And that would satiate me. That would make me feel whole or complete or accomplished or
Right.
whatever the ego was pushing for. And it was just, it was gross. And I don't recognize that man today.
Right.
But at that time, I was seeking validation. I was seeking
External validation.
yes,
Okay.
yes, and internal. I wanted to
So
feel.
both
I wanted to
internal and
feel.
external. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to feel whole and complete and,
Right.
and accomplished.
Because there's a big hole in the middle of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I thought, if I go and if I rescue these kids, that will make me feel whole and complete. And
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it
How
didn't.
did that?
What's that?
Did it?
No, absolutely not.
What did it do?
It gave me a sense of pride, and it certainly helped my heart. But I was not a man of integrity, and I don't believe you can be out of integrity and love yourself. And so, fortunately, I had this experience that I call my born again experience, because it was my wife and I. This was 2019, and my wife and I were separated at the time. I had, on Father's Day of 2019, I had confessed.
So like 7 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had confessed to my wife and my family what I had been doing, because a few months prior to that, I had, it was actually a year and a half prior to that, I had started really doing some internal work through a therapist. And
Did you have a problem with pornography too?
not
That was
really.
never one of those.
Yeah, it wasn't really an issue for me. Mine was infidelity with other women. And
Do you think that the rescue stuff impacted that? Seeing what you had seen, I mean, right as I understand it, because I didn't make the cut as you did. I didn't make it for the first round, because when you talk about you showing a kid on a menu, to me, I'm gonna kill everybody in the room.
that was the most difficult part of the job.
So I ask it, like, do you feel like what you guys put yourself through, watching the exploitation of children, women, sex, that it totally added to the stuff of your childhood that started to paint a picture in your head about how to not love a woman like her femininity, I think is the way to.
Yeah. So for me, it was.
I think that's the proper word.
Yeah.
For divine.
For me, it was. So when we would go on these operations, you're not going to meet a child trafficker in church, right? You're going to meet them.
Where would you meet them?
Strip clubs.
So you're seeing, and in third world countries, I'm assuming it's full naked.
Oh yeah.
All bets are off.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the full.
Right. So you add that fuel, that gasoline on top of somebody who doesn't love themselves.
Right.
And is atheist.
Yep.
So godless.
So there's no consequences.
Right. Right. And it's, I'm just a man. And at the time I was reading books trying to justify myself, and that men should not be monogamous.
Right.
Which to me, that is certainly not my personal belief. I believe men. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. At least I am monogamous.
Right.
But
you have a connection with your wife that can never ever be described.
Right.
In words.
Right.
To love her as your I don't want to say princess or queen, but just
my queen. Yeah, my guardian angel. Yeah. Honestly.
So powerful.
She so I had this experience where I what I knew in 2019, earlier in 2019, actually 2018, was integrity was critical for me. I didn't know what my integrity meant. I didn't know what integrity meant for me exactly at that point in time, but I knew integrity was critical, and I needed to find my integrity and stick to it. Because if I didn't, I'd end up killing myself, because I was so miserable inside.
Were you suicidal?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, I tried to commit suicide and ended up in uni for a couple of days.
No way.
Yeah. It was on Father's Day, actually, of 2019.
Okay, so
I confessed everything that I'd done, and I had so much shame and guilt that I tried slitting my wrist and ended up committed at the psychiatric hospital for evaluation. And
it was Mother's Day, the Friday before Mother's Day, 2017.
yours was?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's heavy, and it's again, I'm grateful for the experience. What it taught me was, well, I had that experience where I wanted to live in full integrity, and so I confessed, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just live how I think I should live, and people are gonna either accept me or not, but at least I'm gonna be able to look in the mirror and
I love that.
they'll know, you know, I'll love myself,
Yep.
and that's it. I can't force anybody to love me, but I can live authentically. And so I confessed and tried to commit suicide and ended up in uni, which is a local psychiatric hospital, and separated from my wife. And during that separation, what I wanted and what I needed to do, and I still was godless at the time. Well, you're never godless, but in my mind, in my mind,
You left him, he didn't leave you.
exactly. In my mind,
Right.
what I wanted to do was find my integrity, and I believe everybody's integrity is different to an extent, right?
Right.
So this is a simple, stupid example, but I can drive down the freeway today. I can drive down the freeway going 75 miles an hour in a 70-mile-an-hour zone and be in full integrity.
Right.
Somebody else going 71 is going to feel like they're committing the ultimate, crime, and so
It's all about perspective.
right. And so I knew is I needed to find my integrity and stick to it. And so during this separation, because I wanted to find out who Andrew McCubbins is, not who I was supposed to be, not who a religion told me I should be, not
Right.
what bishop or parent told you should be,
Right.
a wife, a boss. I wanted to sever all expectations and find out who I was, and it was fascinating and it was beautiful. Looking back, I can see the beauty in it, but after I had severed all those relationships or cords, if you will, I would do something, watch pornography for an example, and there's no naughtiness factor in it, right? Nobody's gonna get mad at you or judge you if you do it,
Right.
and it was like, oh well, yeah, this. I don't like this. I don't get any gratification out of this. Or you would, I would go to a strip club and walk out for the first time feeling gross and like honestly vomiting afterwards, and it was really weird at the time. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I now know what Andrew McCubbins does and does not like, and what fulfills is kind of fulfilling him and what's not. And so that time was I think for me, it was a critical moment of my life because I was able to find my integrity. And
What about, would it also be fair to say that you started to find God?
in a way, yeah. So
Were they kind of going?
yeah. So this was Father's Day, 2019.
Yeah.
And then I had an experience where, and I don't know if the audience can see this ankle monitor.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, I was gonna. So the defining moment up to that point, the hardships of all of this, you know what I mean? Like working through the young stuff. You know, Hitler said, if you give me a kid by 6, they'll never leave me.
Hmm.
So I started working as a child advocate between 0 and 6, and from 7 to 12 was huge. Different growth stuff. I don't have all so it was interesting that, you know, through you at that time, and then the hardships that you went up to this point. So your life's just after this, we're back together with our wife. We're working through this. So your life's perfect, right? No,
When?
everything's rainbows and unicorns. No more hardship, right?
What, today? Today? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No more hardships. No, you're always.
What?
No.
You mean after
no.
all that?
Yeah, after an experience where, you know, it was just completely transformational experience that
Right.
changed me to my core, and it was an instant knowing of God and of Jesus, and it was instant.
So you had him, you lost him. You
Yeah.
have him back, so everything should be perfect in your life, right?
Yeah.
Christ will be showing up for you in every way, and no more hardship. Is that true?
No.
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 What do you mean?
No, that's in my opinion, it's not why we're here.
Oh, we're not?
No.
No?
No.
You know I know that.
Yeah.
I'm just... So what happened?
From when?
From after the rescue, you get back with your wife, you tried to commit suicide.
Yeah, I have a born again experience,
Yeah.
and I'm completely transformed. I love myself. I'm worthy. I love, and I am loved.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, life continues though.
Right.
Even beyond this triumphant moment. September 22nd, 2019, which was the day that everything changed for me, and I found God.
Reborn.
Yeah, I was reborn. Like,
Yep.
no, businesses still fail.
What?
You still get in arguments with your wife.
No unicorns and rainbows? Like,
there, you know, there you can find rainbows and unicorns, even in the hardest of times. But yeah,
I'm pushing you down a road. What happened? What's the ankle monitor for?
I was so I've been in the healthcare industry since 2013. I started a telemedicine company in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, and at that time nobody was doing telemedicine. It was nobody had heard of it even, pretty much. There were, I think,
Okay.
me and 2 other companies.
Mm-hmm.
So I start this company, hire all the best attorneys. I run this company for several years.
You making a lot of money?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Scene?
I mean,
All about perspective?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ego?
Ego. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
Look at me. Lamborghini in the garage.
Yep.
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 Starting to feed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the man.
I'm the
Right.
man.
Right?
I'm the man.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, which is all bullshit. Money does not buy you joy and happiness.
doesn't?
And no.
No.
It can put a smile on your face when you're out racing cars with your buddies and you know, those types of things, but it's a superficial, in my opinion. It's a superficial smile. It's not a deep, authentic, true, genuine happiness.
So you and I know a lot of billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
And how many of those do you think are truly happy?
I don't know one. No, you know, what's interesting you asked that is I just read or saw a clip from Theo Vaughn,
Okay.
and he's been tremendously successful financially, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he just said it out loud. He's like, this isn't making me happy. I want a family. I want love, essentially, is what he's saying. I want love, and I want to be loved. And I think that is the true, to love and to be loved, I think, is the purpose of this life, really.
So powerful.
And that's true wealth, in my opinion.
So would you say if there's one word that solves all problems on this planet, what would that word be?
Love.
Love. Isn't that what Christ tried to teach us?
That is the only message that he pretty much had was, and that's something worth dying for. And that's why he did die, in my opinion, was to sacrifice himself to teach us to just love.
You don't think he died for our sins?
I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this, but I think he died to teach us about love.
So he came to here, he was born,
Mm-hmm.
just like us,
Mm-hmm.
walked the earth, figured out who he was like we did. Went
Yeah.
to, they knew he was coming. And then the end of it, but they lashed him like 734 times.
A lot.
He never got mad. Never got pissed. Never freaked out.
I forgave him immediately.
Forgave him immediately.
Yeah.
So what did he teach you and me? Just the two of us on this stage.
He taught me, the greatest thing he taught me was love, and that love is either unconditional or it's not love at all.
Love doesn't always mean relationship.
No.
Love that said, those people that did him this way, but he showed you could love them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For they know not what they do, right?
Right.
I mean,
and if we were able to adapt that into everyday life, every man, woman, and child on this planet would use that same philosophy, would it be 1,000 years apiece?
it would. I believe so. Like if the love is
simple, huh?
love is the cure. Love is the answer. And
the closer we get to our Lord and Savior, the less rules we need.
Amen.
The farther away we get, the more rules we need.
Yeah, so it's like I think 99.9%, if not 100% of the damage that we as humans do are from a lack of self-love.
Yeah.
I think once you have self-love, and we realize we're not perfect. We're not supposed to be perfect. Perfect is an illusion, in my opinion. I think God created us to be perfectly imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in that right. If you look at perfection would be all white, and it's the darkness that brings the contrast, right?
Yeah.
And so what I think Christ's ultimate message is love yourself and love others. And once you do that, I would imagine the vast majority of pain and suffering would go away.
But we need pain and suffering to
Grow.
give the contrast. Right?
Yeah, to grow.
We will never know what it's like to have the most divine creature by your side. She's amazing.
Right.
If not, had the opportunity to lose her.
Right.
Right. So the contrast is, I don't want to feel that way ever again. So it keeps you home.
Right.
And you worked on all those things that you needed to. You needed to show up for young Andy.
Yeah.
And let him know that you go back to that. You go back to that life, that space, that time, and you show up for him. And you look inside yourself and what do I need?
Right.
What do you need, son?
Yeah. Yeah, there's in therapy they call it lifespan integration.
Yeah.
Where you go back to that traumatized you, and you're doing this through meditation, but you go back and you hold him and you tell him, hey, buddy, I love you, and I am so sorry that this is happening, but this is where we are today.
Right.
And everything's going to be okay. And you cry with him and you hold him. And that's a tremendous exercise that helped me quite a bit.
Yeah. So your life's perfect now.
No.
No problems. What? We've already healed this. We've already went through all this stuff. Your life should be perfect. You found Christ. You found him, lost him, found him again.
Yeah.
Healed your generational trauma.
Yeah.
Held little Andy.
Yeah.
Right? Wife and you're doing solid.
Amazing.
Amazing. Great. Now you're rolling again in the business. What happened? Because I see an ankle monitor.
Yeah.
Now
So
you got Christ in your life, so he should protect you from everything. Right?
he did. Yeah, he did. He does, and he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had this telemedicine company. Long story short,
How about make a short story long?
Okay. Okay, if we have the time. So again, I started this company in 2013.
Right.
We're crushing it. There's a local company here in Utah, was a local company called Alliance Health. And my telemedicine company was a B2B company. So I would partner with other companies that had existing patients.
Mm-hmm.
These patients, so they had products that they were selling to these patients. These patients didn't have primary care physicians.
Okay.
Because they were either in between primary care physicians, or a lot of Americans don't have primary care physicians in general. At least they didn't back in 2013. So I would contact them and I'd say, hey, listen, I've got a network of doctors that will do consultations with your patients. And if appropriate, they'll write a prescription for it. And you will just pay me per consultation, and I will pay my providers per consultation.
Okay.
And I would take I would charge the business more than I was paying the providers, and we would offer a software service, a medical CRM, EMR, they call it, electronic medical record. So we'd create this, we had this value that we were providing on top of the doctor consultations. And that's where I was making my money.
Mm-hmm.
But this company, Alliance Health, was raided by the FBI in 2016, 17. And they did and at that time, my company was their number one telemedicine provider, and we had done 500,000 prescriptions for them at that point in time. And the FBI out of Utah here, Salt Lake City, did a 1.5-year investigation, found zero criminal wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm.
In that,
for you or the other people?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, because they look at every contract that company has, right? And contract was with my company. And they investigate everything, because the FBI does not want to raid someone and not be able to press charges. That makes them look like fools.
Right.
Right. And the business, it was a $400 million company. They had 1,000 employees. It was Utah's fastest growing company. And they went out of business because they got raided, and they were all of a sudden the plague. Nobody wanted to touch them. They lost lines of credit through Zions Bank, everything. So in that year to year and a half long investigation, they looked at my business model, my payment structure, the way I was paying my providers, the contracts we had with our providers and with Alliance Health. Zero criminal wrongdoing, zero charges whatsoever.
So you're done. You're out. Everything's fixed.
I think, yeah, at that time, I'm like, great. My company just survived the most intensive investigation from the scariest investigative body on the planet, the FBI,
right,
and zero criminal charges.
We're out. We're good.
Perfect. My business is bulletproof. It's tried and true.
Bulletproof.
Yep. So we expanded, and I expanded, and
Lamborghini, houseboat.
I expanded the operation of the business as well as that stuff. Yeah, but I expanded the operations, grew to 200 to 300 employees. Right. Started buying up blood labs, genetics labs, pharmacies. Mm-hmm. And my brother was going through stage 4. He was going through colon cancer, and he was dying. And it was a horrific multi-year battle for him. And he is my eldest brother at the time. He is my oldest brother. And I watched this devastating disease wreck, just destroy him. Right. And it was heartbreaking for our family and for me. And he passed away in 2018 in September, and then in September of 2018, and then October of 2018, I got into the genetic cancer screening industry. I thought, if there's anything I can do to help families not have to go through this horrific disease and fate, I want to help. And so we were doing genetic cancer screenings, which those are tests that you can do. They've identified these genetic mutations, and if you have one of these genetic mutations to one of these genes, there's a high probability that you're going to get that type of cancer. So they can test it for breast cancer, colon cancer, pancreatic cancer.
Oh.
The FBI comes knocking on my door.
Again,
And
round two.
round two,
Round
in August 15th of 2019, they flew me out to New Jersey.
Yeah.
Prosecutors, it was different. It wasn't Utah. It was New Jersey.
New Jersey came
yep.
and got you, knocked on the door.
Yeah, they told. Again, I had 5 different law firms working for me. And one of my attorneys out of Florida calls me and says, "We need to meet with the FBI tomorrow." And I said, "I'm not flying to New Jersey to meet with the FBI." He's like, "Andrew, this is serious. If we don't go to them, they're going to come to you, and you do not want them coming to you." I was like, "Okay." So I fly out to New Jersey. I take the red eye out and sit in front of 15 agents, prosecutors, and they're treating me like I just murdered a village of kids, like yelling, screaming at me, saying I defrauded the government, saying that I bribed my physicians, and I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. And
is your wife with you now?
No. What do you mean at that time?
No, I mean with you.
We were separated.
You're separated.
Yeah.
So life's not super cool right now.
Not at that time. No, that was from Father's Day to August of 2019.
You're in a dark place.
Very dark. Yeah. Yeah. And, they're bringing up the fact that they know about my affairs. My wife and I were separated at that time.
Right.
And they bring that up. They bring up they have a 97% conviction rate. They bring up I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. They're going to seize my assets. They're going to kick my family out of their house, and kick my mom out of her house because we'd helped build her a house. And criminal asset forfeiture laws are such that if I invest in your company, let's say, or I give you a loan, and I made that money illegally, the government can go to you and say, "Hey, listen, Jerry, Andrew made that money illegally. That's our money.
Right.
We're going to seize that money he gave you. And if you can't pay that, if you can't write a check, we're going to take your business. We're going to put a lien on your house, foreclose on it, whatever." They have a very broad authority and capability of.
With the 98% success rate.
Yeah.
That's some pretty heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, you're going to jail for 35 years.
Which would be basically the rest of your life.
Yeah. And that's if we only charge you. That's only if we charge you with one count of each. But you did this tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of times. So you're going to jail forever. Or
it's wiping out your legacy of your family.
Yep.
Your extended family.
Yep.
Your reputation.
Yeah. Well, I had destroyed my reputation, at that point in time. I had destroyed my reputation.
But that was the last of it because that was what you defined you now as a businessman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Your identity.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So they said, that's option A. Well, and I brought up, listen, you guys investigated me. Utah FBI investigated my company and for a year and a half and found zero criminal wrongdoing. And their answer was, yeah, they did a bad job. We think you did break the law.
Oh.
And so it's up to interpretation. That's how healthcare law is it's one federal prosecutor, one FBI agent in a state thousands of miles from you
2,000 miles
away can interpret the law differently. And healthcare law is intentionally vague that way.
And they've now seized your assets.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Some of them, but not all of them yet. So, they say, and also because I said, listen, if I did break the law, I certainly didn't mean to, and so there's no intent.
Did you mean to?
Absolutely not. No.
Because you found your integrity.
Well, for some odd reason, I always had business integrity, but I didn't have personal integrity, which is.
But you're working on it.
At that time, I was working on it, yeah. Mm-hmm. But again, the business had been running for years prior.
Right.
I just didn't want to go to prison. You couldn't pay me $1 billion to spend a week in prison.
Yeah.
So I said, listen, if I did break the law, it was unintentional. And he said, we don't have to prove intent with these charges. And I looked at my attorneys. I said, is that true? And they said, yeah, with these charges they're bringing, they don't have to prove you intended to break the law for them to get a 97% conviction rate to convict you and send you to prison for the rest of your life. And at that point in time, I knew I was screwed. And so they said that, okay, Andrew, this is all option A. Option B is you sign a piece of paper right now. You say that you intentionally defrauded Medicare, you intentionally bribed your physicians, even though my physicians got paid whether they wrote a prescription or not.
Right.
So they were paid per consultation. They weren't paid per prescription, which is
Right. So you were
the base of an anti-kickback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not getting a penny more if they write a prescription versus not write a prescription.
They took an oath and you didn't ask them to violate it.
Absolutely.
They found that they're hypocritical. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how my payment structure always was. And that's how we operated. And
would
it's
the
an option.
doctors get a bonus if
No.
they?
No.
So there's no bonuses.
No
So
bonus.
you're like, hey, Joe Smith, Dr. Joe Smith, if you don't write the scripts, whatever we need to, whatever it was, then you'll get moved to the bottom of the list. There was no
Nothing.
list. There was
Nothing.
no
Zero incentive whatsoever.
zero stuff.
Nope. We didn't filter to doctors that we knew wrote
I mean, you could.
more
That's a
prescriptions.
fair question. You know what I
Absolutely
mean?
it is, yeah.
As long as we're going to have a real conversation.
Because
we're
if
gonna
I
say-
wanted to break
You
the law,
could-
that's what I would have done. I would have monitored the percentages.
Right.
You know, looking back, I'd have been like, holy cow. We had doctors that wrote 50% of the time. So we had other doctors
That would
looking
do
back in hindsight, they
80.
were writing 90%,
right? Okay.
95%. So you would think that if I was trying to break the law, I would,
You would have
you know
fed
what?
the ones that were feeding.
Doctor over here is fired and I'm going to send everything to this doctor over here because they're 95% success rate versus 50%. But that never happened once. Never happened once. And
Not once.
not once. Nope. There was zero incentive
They never found
whatsoever.
any paperwork of anything like that. They never found anything that supported the fact that you were high grading doctors,
None.
whatever they want to call it.
None.
Nothing.
None.
But they're still coming after you.
Yep.
Who do
Yep.
they want?
Well, they say option B, Andrew, is you become a confidential informant.
Oh,
We take control of your companies.
okay.
At that time, I was off rescuing kids. I wasn't in the office. I didn't even have an office in my building. So
Right.
I had business partners. I had CEOs that were running these companies.
So you're not even running this.
I'm not even hands on.
You.
I'd
you
go
just
in.
your
I'd go
name.
in. Yeah, I'd go in 2 hours a week, get updates, do high level strategy, and then gone. Yeah,
So you were running the definition of a business,
right,
because a business is only a business if you can leave and it runs, right?
right. And I had amazing
You
operators.
were-
They're amazing. It was an amazing
Did
team.
they get in trouble too?
One of them did. My second. Well, yeah. So he was my partner and CEO early on, and then we replaced him as CEO, and another guy came in. But I had hired from Alliance Health. I thought, okay, these guys got shut down, but they were zero criminal charges.
Right.
So I hired some of their executives, and I even hired their in-house general counsel attorney.
Right.
And so he was working for me in my office or in the office building.
So you're thinking of having the attorneys around and the attorneys that have worked around you, like they would make sure that
We were
that's what
compliant.
you're paying for,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Hey, make sure that we're doing everything up and up.
yeah,
Okay, keep
yeah.
going.
So,
Okay.
the option B is we're going to take control of your companies. You don't even come to the office anyway, so you just piss off essentially. You go back home and you live your life normally. Spend the same. We don't want, for the first year, over a year, they kept it under seal.
No changes.
In other words, they didn't want the public to know. So they said, you go live your life how you've been living it. And we'll assign these 2 agents to you, and they will tell you exactly what to do and when to do it. And you'll become a confidential informant. So I was like, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody breaking the law.
I don't-
What are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
They said, it doesn't matter. But what we'll do is if you sign this option B, we're going to run your companies. You're going to go home, live your life. Yeah, we'll come for the assets later, maybe, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to lose your house. You're not going to lose your mom's house. You're not going to lose your in-laws' house.
Or your investments.
They were going to, they said that they were going to come after other assets, but they would at least protect those.
Okay.
And then they said, instead of 35 years in prison, or ultimately life, but we'll, limit these down to just one count of each. So 5 years for anti-kickback law violation, which is healthcare fraud, which is 10 years.
Mhm.
And it was all done over the phone. So that's 20 years wire fraud.
Wire
So
fraud, yeah,
35
it's
years
wire fraud, yeah.
together. They said, we'll just limit it to one count of each. And they said, and you know what? You're a first time, like you've never been in trouble in the past.
No
So
criminal record.
yeah. So federal sentencing
Speeding
guidelines
ticket.
are, yeah.
But
Federal
that's it.
sentencing guidelines are 10 to 15 or 10 to 13 years.
Right. Never been under investigation.
No.
Anything your whole life.
No.
And you spent the better part of 5 years traveling the world saving kids from sex trafficking.
Yep. Yep. And
You're a horrible human being.
in their eyes, I was.
okay.
And so they say you have 5 minutes to decide.
Oh.
We'll
Your
get up and
life.
leave. Yep. We'll get up and leave. But when we come back, you're either going to sign option A or option B. And y'all got up, left the room, and I broke down sobbing. I'm like, I look at my attorneys like, guys, you know me. You know this is bullshit. And they said, Andrew, it does not matter. You are fucked.
Yeah.
And
Where's Christ in all this?
at that time, he wasn't in my life. That was August 15th, and Jesus didn't come into my life until September 22nd. That was my born again experience in 2019. So this is all,
Right.
August 15th, 2019.
Yeah.
So my life, as it was, is over.
Another train wreck.
Yeah.
It's just the wheels came off the bus.
Yep.
You're sitting there.
Yeah. And I
In
break down.
In a FBI.
Yep. In that
New
guy
Jersey.
building. Yep.
Wife's
Federal.
gone.
Uh-huh. They hate me.
Hate you.
My kids hate me.
Kids hate you.
Yep.
You hate you.
I hate me. Yeah. And
No Christ at this time.
no.
No dog. No dog that likes you.
No. Well, my dog liked me still. I did.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but
I mean, seriously, that's enough to tip most people over.
yeah. As a matter of fact, at one point, before they got up and left, I looked over my right shoulder, and there were windows behind me, and we were, I think, on the 9th floor.
And you're like,
And
now
I'm
fix that
thinking,
glasses.
I'm gonna jump out the window and kill myself. I tried earlier in the in June.
It's a
I'm gonna
fair
do it.
statement.
Yeah.
Most people would, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And right when I looked over, I didn't even say anything or anything, but it was a quick
Everybody-
glance.
Everybody was like,
This FBI agent says, "You're thinking about killing yourself, aren't you?"
why wouldn't I not?
Yeah. I was like, honestly, yeah. I'm like, yeah, don't. I was like, okay, fair enough. So they leave. They come back. 4 minutes, 59 seconds. I sign option B.
Right.
Become a confidential informant. Turn
With
my
the
companies
FBI.
over to them. Yep. Turn my companies over to them, and a part of the agreement was that part of option B's agreement was we'll write a letter to the judge. So that 10 to 13 years, we'll ask for what's called a downward departure in that federal sentencing guideline. So, you could look at, considerably less time in prison, depending on how much you help us and what we're able to do with your cooperation.
Mhm.
So they come back in. I signed option B. They all changed. Now I'm their best friend. They're talking to me like, hey man, what's up?
Hey, Andy.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah. Like we go way back. They're
Yeah.
like, okay, let's get you a code name. So they got me a code name and a confidential informant name.
Right.
And then they asked me this question. And it's the weirdest question in the world, but they say, tell us about your relationship with tell me, should I go into this? How tell us about a relationship with this politician that
right. Our friend.
Yeah.
Close friend.
Very close friend. He and
Good
I,
man.
amazing man. He and I had
Yeah.
gone on operations together, and that's where I grew to love
Done a lot of
him.
great things for this amazing state.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And
And
they wanted him.
he said, tell us about your relationship with him.
Mhm.
Does he trust you? Does he love you?
Yeah.
When are you going to see him next? What do you talk about usually? When you're going to see him in public, private? When are you going to see him? What are these? Exactly what is your relationship like?
So now they have an agenda to get to this person because of political persecution is how they say it.
prosecution, political persecution, prosecution,
Yeah. That's
and I say,
that's
what
my
the
Utah
hell?
County upbringing.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell does he have to
does
do
this
with
matter?
Medicare fraud or
Right.
bribing physicians?
Right.
Like, don't worry about it.
Just answer the question.
Answer the questions, and asked me to cooperate against him many times, and wear wires and do phone recordings, and at that time, if you remember, like, being a man of integrity was new to me, but I knew that I had to. And so, talk about a test, right? Talk about a test of, you always wonder what type of man you're going to be when you can push your brother down, step over him just to save yourself and your family,
Right.
You always wonder what type of man you would be if you're put in that situation. But I was given a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually have that opportunity to, I know him to be a phenomenal man and a great man, and I love him, and he's a brother to me. Am I really gonna?
And he didn't do anything. That was the thing. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, on top of everything else,
Yeah. So I
personally didn't see anything my time
No.
around that person.
no.
Like,
No.
straight up.
Yeah.
Like, he's the type of dude you'd go to war with. I would go to
Absolutely.
war with him.
Absolutely. 100%.
As
Yep. 100%. We did go to war together.
yeah. We'll go with you three. All three of us will go.
All right.
Maybe we'll take Josh with us too. I don't know.
So yeah, I if you were to ask the FBI if I was an amazing cooperator, they'd say yes, he did. But
What about that guy?
if you ask that man what he thinks about
You?
me prior to that experience and now, he'll vouch for me.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys read between the lines.
Right.
But
He's our brother still.
Yeah.
And he knows that you are his brother's
and
keeper.
he loves me more now
than
than
then.
Our bond is stronger now.
Yeah.
Stronger now.
Right.
Yeah. So
Changed his life, though.
what's that?
Changed his life, the person.
Changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it allowed me to look at the man in the mirror and love the man staring back at me. That was one of those chances that like I was given that shaped who I am today, and I'm so grateful for it. Like, so they ran the companies for 7 years.
Right. 7 years.
August 15th to May 20th of this year. I was just in New Jersey getting sentenced federally.
Federally sentenced right now, just
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah. So I was looking at 10 to 13 years.
Went from 35.
Yep.
To 10
Prosecutors.
to 15.
Yep. Prosecutors they got notches on their belt. They moved on.
They're done. Yeah. New
Yeah.
people now.
New prosecutors come in.
Yep. Everybody's new.
So we're fourth
So
generation
they
new
took over the
prosecutor.
they
took over the
they take over the paperwork.
paperwork. Yep.
And they're like, now who's this Andy? What?
Yeah. Yeah. Andrew.
How does this stick?
Yeah. So what they've been doing is they've been using my companies, and they'd made like 17 arrests of people I'd never done business with, never met, never spoke to, never emailed, called, nothing.
They create the relationships
Yes.
with them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you leave, they create relationships with people and try to basically create relationships.
It's called a honeypot. Yeah. Yeah. They use my companies, and I had no idea what they were doing ever. I had no visibility whatsoever.
Right.
Zero.
Because you're working on other stuff with us.
All of a sudden, I hear they're doing COVID testing for the Boston Red Sox. They're buying ambulances. None of this was anything that I had done or my company had done, but they're running it, and they're forming these relationships and building and making arrests.
Right.
So I show up.
And they tell you what your tax return is and stuff, and they do the taxes and everything. Like,
They do everything. Yeah, they do a colonoscopy.
you just show up and sign here.
That's the interesting. So during COVID, I get a call from Wells Fargo. They're like, hey, you took out a PPP loan and you're late on the payments.
What?
And I said, no, I did not. And they said, yes, you did for this
Federal
company.
government takes out a PPP loan
For my company.
for your company.
And they don't pay it.
What?
Yeah, so Wells Fargo was calling me saying, you're overdue. And I said, I didn't take a PPP loan. They said, yes, you did. And I said, prove it. Send me the documents showing my signature where I signed for a
Did they
PPP
have
loan.
our attorney?
No.
So who signed the docs?
I don't know. After the call, I called my handler at the FBI. And I said, hey,
Codename Foxfire.
this is codename Foxfire. I just got a call from Wells Fargo saying that my company took out a PPP loan and hasn't paid it. Oh.
How much?
And this is the response I get. It was a few $100,000.
For a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
You were doing...
A company that had $20 million in its operating business account at the time.
200.
Why do they need a few $100,000?
Sting somebody.
I don't know, but I call my handler like, hey, I just got a call. Here's what they said. And my handler says, oh, yeah, don't worry about that. I was like, we'll take care of it. I was like, okay.
On top of...
Never heard another thing about it. Yeah. This was in like 2020. So they're using my companies from August 15th, 2019 until May 20th of 2026. And they make all these arrests.
6 years.
Yeah. 6 years, 9 months, 5 days.
3 hours and 14 minutes.
Some things stick with you. Yeah. I show up to federal sentencing and
you're still thinking you're going up the river.
Yeah. I'm going to spend a few years in prison. Yeah.
4 years of prison.
Don't know how
Federal
much.
prison too, right?
Federal prison. Yeah.
So wife's back?
Yeah. Yeah. My wife and I reconciled September 22nd, 2019. That was my born again, and that changed me, and it was the most beautiful experience in the world, and it was miraculous, and it's our relationship has, with my wife, with my family, has gotten only stronger and stronger and stronger, and I'm so very grateful. And my relationship with myself, my relationship with God and Jesus, since that day, like
You're praying more,
every day on my hands and knees,
asking him for
multiple
guidance.
times a day.
So that lasts the temporary.
Yep.
Through
Surrendering
this.
every day.
Surrendering.
Yep.
Meditating.
Yep.
Words of affirmation in the mirror.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everything.
Manifesting.
Yeah. Believing in the fact people that don't understand manifesting.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's visualizing what you want, feeling it. It's feeling the emotion of having it.
Right.
It's believing it already happened.
Because that has already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
what happens with that?
Powerful things.
Yeah.
Beyond your imagination happen.
So now you're going to sentencing, wife by your side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, what you're thinking, hey, let's this is it, baby. Come on. You go walk in the federal courtroom.
Yeah. I prayed and was manifesting.
Because you know that you're going.
Well, I had this experience a few months prior where it was just like you and I are talking, where I was told, I did not build you and your family up to send you to prison.
From who?
From God.
Yeah. So now he's back in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Since 2019.
And he just told you what?
I'm not. You're not getting sent to prison.
Do you believe him?
At the time, yeah, absolutely. But there's that, is this
It's hard to believe?
Is this
right?
God?
Because the
right?
human part of you is like, was that really true?
Yeah. Yeah. Or I just want to believe it so much that, yeah. But it was. I prayed that the judge would be able to see my heart, see my character, and see the man that I am today versus the man in 2019, 18, 17.
Your whole life.
Yeah. And man, that judge, it was the way we describe it. We had 17 of us there, my family and
tons of support.
Yeah. And we show up and the way we all describe it is a surreal spiritual experience. Mm-hmm. Like watching the hand of God in real time.
Emotion.
Yeah. 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 And federal judge comes out and he says, federal prosecutors were still pushing for years in prison. And
It's not their life. Why do they care?
yeah, but the federal prosecutor showed up that day, and he spent 15 to 20 minutes telling the judge why I should get a reduction of sentence. So, doing better than my defense attorney.
Oh,
was.
okay. So the government, U.S. government, is now working in your behalf first, better than your
Yeah,
attorney. Oh,
yeah.
that's good then.
2 FBI agents showed up
Not your
in court.
handler.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
my
So
handlers.
7
two-
years
two
because
guys.
you've been,
Yeah,
which you guys have a pretty good relationship now.
yeah. And actually, about 3 years ago, I called them and I said, or they called me and I said, guys, I have to tell you something. Like, this has been a horrific experience, and yet the most beautiful thing to happen to me and my family. I said, I prior to you guys entering my life, August 15th, 2019, I was not the man I wanted to be.
Right.
And it brought the weight of it took the weight of the federal government coming down on me to bring me to my knees and to find God, to find Jesus, and to truly understand what is most important to me. And that is an opportunity that I'll forever be grateful for.
Which is?
Them coming into my life and bringing me to my knees, to where I had the born again experience and had the relationship with my family and my wife and
yourself.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it would, I don't believe it would have happened had they not entered my life. And when I told them this, they're like, wow, we've never been thanked before. But never did I expect they would come back and years later to my sentencing hearing and help get me a reduction of sentence.
Which was?
No prison.
None.
No.
None.
14 months
14 months.
on an ankle monitor.
Yeah. Which looks like what we were teasing about the.
It's like a Fitbit.
You want to see the time?
Yeah, and so I can leave 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, and then Saturday I have 4 hours for necessities, and Sunday I have 6 hours for religious services. So, again, another miracle of the judge he restored my faith in the justice system.
Right.
Amazing man, I love him.
Right.
I'm grateful for him.
Right now. The administration that we have.
Yeah.
I love them. I think they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
I think that there's always going to be challenges in every administration that'll ever be. I know.
Yeah.
I was president. That I mean, I wouldn't want to be president. I can't even imagine the stuff that you have to deal with.
No.
I'm glad that we're trying to get this world put back together.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here? Today's another pivotal. Once you walk out of the courtroom, like, look at this. Where are we going now? What is the secret to what could you say to people on our show?
Gratitude,
Love,
perseverance, getting up after you've been knocked down,
right?
hope.
Outlast the temporary.
Yeah.
That one.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Your relationship with yourself.
Right.
Self-love, I think is critical.
Right.
Integrity is critical. I think integrity is what ultimately gets you to loving yourself.
Right.
And that's through truth and honesty and vulnerability and authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are things that have been cast aside as not valuable, but in plot twist, they are the most valuable.
Yeah.
Life lessons and morals and
that's the show. That's what we're doing. Teaching people that from all walks of life, that everybody has I don't want to say a cross to bear, but a life, and everything that makes you want to jump out of a 9-story window
yeah.
in New Jersey to outlast the temporary, because this too will change.
Oh yeah.
But what you have to, it would serve you well to stay in it. Start working on yourself. Start preparing for being a better person. Trying to look at everything. For every dark cloud is a silver lining. Right.
Right. And there will be a dawn the next day.
There will be a dawn.
Yeah.
And how powerful are you now? You're
Powerful. I don't know. I'm humbled and grateful.
We're working on some pretty cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
We're working on some stuff that's gonna change the world. And I don't know that you'd have been ready for it, because we talked about doing this 5 years ago, and you turned it to someone else and said, "I'm not your guy."
Yeah.
Guess what? You're back. And the people that know you are excited because of who you are. And I myself, once again, I'm honored to call you my brother.
Thank you.
And thank you for your life. Thank you for your service to our I want to say our country, but it's to the world. Usually what I've found in this life is those who are going to make the most impactful things in the world, Satan's coming after you.
Yeah.
So not surprising. As you know the stuff I went through.
Yeah.
Same but different. You know what I mean? It's because we're making a difference.
Right.
The prince of this world in John chapter 14 said the prince of this world's coming.
Yeah.
And that's what Christ said on his night before he went back to dad. He said, prepare for it. I'll leave you a holy advocate. You guys got to understand, if you're going to take up where I left off, he's coming after you.
Oh yeah.
And the thing they always have to remember is we go back to that space and go, Christ never left us.
No.
He promised us.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say thank you.
Thank
Love
you,
brother, so much. I would like to say, if you like the show, to like and subscribe, and we are so grateful and blessed. And we'll see you at the next one.